Hi guys, today I thought I'd show you another faux glass styly kind of thing, pendant. Um, Completely different approach to my last one, but nonetheless I would still probably describe it as faux glass, not necessarily lamp work, but just a faux glass one. So I've got some translucent clay, and that's all the clay you'll need is translucent clay. I've got my backing ready, which is rolled onto a number 3. I've got 2 strips like this also rolled onto a number 3, and I've also got another sheet of it, but that's rolled out onto a number 7, so that's really thin. My pasta machine is an Atlas 150, 0 being the thickest setting. You'll also need some alcohol inks, and I'm going with these. So I've got this like reddish colour, a blue, a purple, and the gold mixative, and the white. I guess that's the mixative as well, I guess. I don't quite understand what that means, but that's what they're called anyway. So you do need some gold and white, and then obviously the other colours can be entirely up to you, which colours you use. I'm also going to be using some metal leaves, and I've got copper, gold and silver. And I'm going to incorporate these. Now, these are the dragonfly glazes, and they really show up their colours on black clay. But they've got a lot of mica in them, so I thought I'd add the different coloured micas into some clay. So I've got the, and they're colour changing as well, guys. What colour is this one? This is violet blue. This is blue green gold shift. And this is red violet blue shift. And this is green, oh I can't see, green gold red shift. So again, colours of your choice, and you don't have to use them. It's a bit of an experiment. But the first thing I want to do is take my first piece of clay and just start adding some alcohol inks. But I'm just going to give it a quick spray with some rubbing alcohol just to get it going. Not a great deal, just a little spray. I'm just going to dab some of that off. Okay, and then I'm going to start taking my clay inks, alcohol inks, and just dotting it on the clay like this. Just random. Let's go with the blue. Now this is going to get pretty wet, so this is going to have to be left to dry. But I do want to give this a little bit of a crackle, so I probably am going to heat it with the heat gun to give it that crackle, so that the drying time won't be as bad as you think. But I'm just dropping those colours wherever, like so. And then I'm going to get my white. And when you use the white and the gold, that's what causes the ink to bloom. So I'm just going to start dropping the white on in random areas, and you can see it's starting to bloom. So again, random wherever you feel looks good. I'm just going to put a little one there. And now it's starting to get that lovely bloom. And then I'm going to add the gold, and then that's going to add even more of a bloom. I think I need to shake this. Shaken, not stirred. There we go, that's better. So I'm just dropping the gold where I put the white, but you can just drop it anywhere as well, like so. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that. So that's the alcohol ink part. I'm just going to move my inks out of the way. And now this needs to be left to dry. So I'm going to leave it to dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to go over it with a heat gun, and I've got to try and move this without disturbing it. I should have put it on some card. That's what I'm going to do now, actually. Just try and not disturb it too much. Oh, goodness me. Come on, there we go. Okay. Yeah, good idea to put it on some card first, guys. But anyway, that's the alcohol ink part. Look how pretty that is. So I'm going to leave it to dry for a few minutes before I use the heat gun on it. Now, the next little bit is this translucent, also rolled onto a number 3, and this is just a case of adding different... Oh, I forgot, guys, sorry. I wanted to bring in some different colours of metal leaf as well, so I have got like these little booklets that come in different colours, and here's some purple. So I'm going to throw some of that in as well. I'll leave the link to all these things, so don't worry. I just want to find some blue. I always forget something, don't I? Anyway, so I've got these colours as well. So I've got silver, gold, copper, blue and purple. Just to put on this little strip of clay. And again, just placing it randomly. Kind of dotted over, not all in one clump together. Just so you get a nice dispersed colour running through. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, and just give it a little press, make sure it's stuck down. I'm just going to move this up a little bit. I've got my phone camera at a weird angle today because somebody complained about the shadow running across the screen on my last video. For some reason it distracted them, so I've tried to solve that little problem by having my phone tilted at a different angle, which I think it's worked. Okay, so now I'm just putting on the gold. Like shoe. And then a little bit of copper. And then I'm going to throw in some of these colours. This is like really cheapy coloured foils. And like I say, I'll leave a link for these in the description. And just a reminder that the description is the little down arrow on the right next to the title of the video. If you click on that little down arrow, you'll find all the info in there. 'Cause I don't think everybody knows what is meant by description, but that's what that is. This stuff doesn't crumble as nice as the gold and silver. It's, like I say, it's cheapy stuff, but it does the job. So, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of purple. And once this sticks on the tile, it's stuck. You have to really scrape it off. It's weird stuff. But I'm just getting some into the mix. Maybe just a tad more of this, I think. Okay, and I think that's good. Whoops. Let me just lift this up and get rid of this. Oops. I might as well add that in there now. Okay. Michael. Oops, wrong way. I meant to do it that way. I was going to show you that I was doing it, and then I go and do it the wrong way. Oops. Wipe your blade this way, guys, because Michael gets worried that I'm going to cut myself. Bless him. Oh dear. Okay. I keep trying to remember to do it the right way, but sometimes I don't. So I don't know why I just pick it up that way and do it. It's like, just do it the other way. It's like, since Michael pointed it out to me, I've been more aware of when I'm like cleaning knives in the kitchen, and I noticed that I do actually do it that way with kitchen knives, so I don't know. Anyway, right, so I've got my little piece of clay here. Now obviously you could make as much of this as you would like. I'm not doing a great deal, but I'm just going to take this and cut it into sections like so. And they don't have to be exact, they don't have to be perfect, it's all going to get stacked together, but just a few sections like this. And then I'm going to get my translucent clay that's been rolled onto a number 7 and just lay that over the top of that and just cut round it. Like so. Just get rid of the excess. Don't want to waste any. I might get yelled at again for wasting so many products, which is rubbish, but okay. And now I'm going to get my dragonfly glazes, and I'm going to go with this red, violet, blue shift. I don't know how much of a difference this makes, guys. Like I say, it's a bit of an experiment, but I do know that there's a nice shine to them, so it might just add a little extra something to the clay if it will come out. What the heck? So I'm just going to put a little drop on there and just give it a smear. Now, like I say, let me just quickly show you if I can find some black clay. No, I can't, but it works really well on black clay. It really shows up the colour on black clay. But I just wanted to try it on this, just to see if it brings out a little bit more of a shimmer. And then I'm just going to put that to one side and let it dry for a minute or two. And then same thing again. I'm just going to stack each piece, layer each piece with the thin translucent sheet. Like so. Two more pieces. Last piece. Oops. I'm trying to get it so there's no air bubbles in it, because it tends to bubble a little bit if you stack in layers. The air gets trapped. So I'm just going to take the next one and add a different colour. So I used the red violet one. Now I'm going to try this blue green gold. I've been wanting to try these, and I've never really known what to do with them other than put them on black clay, but I thought, well, you never know, it might just give a little bit of a sparkle with the different colours. I'm just going to show that to you. I don't know if you can pick up the iridescence, but it's definitely there. Can you see? And then I'm going to go with my green. Oh, this one's so difficult to see. Green, gold, red. Same thing, just a little boop on there. Give that a smooth over. I mean, I can see the red coming through. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera. Oops, there's a shadow. Oops. And then the last one, and we're left with violet, blue, green. Like I say, these are they colour shift. So I'm just going to put that on there and give that a smooth over, and then those need to be left to dry before we stack them. Again, I don't know if you can pick up the colour. We'll see how it looks when it's baked, but I'm pretty sure it will give a little bit of a extra something. It might not be much, but it will be there. Okay, I'm going to go back to my alcohol ink piece now while I let these other ones dry off a little bit. And I am going to get my heat gun because, like I said, I want to give this a bit of a crackle, and also it helps speed up the drying process as well. So I'm just going to take my heat gun gently to start with, because I don't want to blow any wet ink around, just in case it's still really wet, which it isn't. It's dried a little bit already. So I'm just going to hold my heat gun over it and just keep moving it around. So it's drying the ink, but it's also going to dry the clay a little bit so it can get a bit of a crackle. Like I say, nothing too much. See how dry it is? It's still wet, so I'm just going to keep going. Now these colours are really vibrant, but they will lighten a little bit once they're baked, but it still looks really good. Still a nice mix of colour. A few more seconds, still a bit tacky. And I think that's good. And I'm just going to see how much of a crackle it's got. I'm just going to take it off here for a minute. Oops, yeah, it's crackled. It's quite fragile. But I'm just going to leave it there, guys, before I do any further damage to it. That bit's like extra crackly. Okay, so again, I'm just going to leave that to one side, and I'm going to bring these in now, see if it's dried enough. Which, yeah, it has. It doesn't take long to dry. But same thing. I'm gonna give these a quick blast with the heat gun as well. I don't think I put any paint on that one. I didn't. I missed a piece, guys. I didn't put any colour, so I'm just going to add a little bit of colour on this one. I'll just go with this purplish one again, I think. I don't know why this one doesn't want to come out. I guess it's blocked. Do 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 do. Goodness me. Come on out. Alright, I'm not going to bother with you. I'll use this one instead. Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't put any colour on this. Paint. Oops. I think you can actually see the colour a little better now, look. Now it's dried off. So it's just got that really faint, shimmery, glittery feel to it. I think it's pretty. I'm just going to give this one a dry now because it needs to catch up with the other ones. Take some off. Alright, that's enough, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take these pieces now. I'm just going to let that one cool off a little bit, and I'm just going to stack them up like this. Simple, simple. And then put that last one on there. So it's just a simple little stack like this. I feel like I'm faffing around today. Okay, so once you've got your little stack together, and this one's not sticking very good. Let me turn it the other way. Give it a roll. Ooh, naughty. Oops. That didn't work out too well, did it? I'm just going to get rid of that little bit. No worries. These things happen and it's all good. It's not the end of the world. It hasn't ruined your project. Just keep on going. So what I'm going to do is cut that in half and then stack it on top of itself like that, so we haven't got that problem again. It's very random. It doesn't have to be stacked in any particular order. It's just all about getting some nice layers of shimmer and glittery goodness. So I'm just going to give it a roll, and then it needs to be the same thickness as this piece. This needs to be rolled back out onto a number 3. And it nearly got rolled onto a number 7, guys. That would have been a bit of a disaster if I'd have done that. But that's it. It just rolled out onto a number 3. Okay, let me see. Let me think. This needs to be. So I'm just going to take away a little bit of this. And guess what I'm going to do with this, guys? Chippy choppy on steroids. Chippy choppy, chippy choppy. I bet you guessed, didn't you? I just thought I'd do a little extra something something, just to give a little bit more something something to the piece. So we're going to have 3 different kinds of things, components going on, and it's literally just chopping it up, stacking it on top of itself and giving it a good old chop again. This is the technique that I like to call chippy choppy on steroids. Don't ask me how I came up with it, because I don't really know. It's just one of those things that popped in my head one day and it's kind of stuck, so that's what I call it. And I'm just doing a little bit of this. Don't have to make a great deal of it. Just get it into a little bit of a block. Give it a quick roll just to see. And I think that's probably good. But again, this needs to be rolled onto a number 3. Alright, so you've got all your components rolled onto a number 3. I don't think that's really made much difference. Oh well, whatever. It might look different when it's baked. We'll see. Like I say, guys, this is a complete experiment. I actually don't really know what I'm doing. To be honest with you, well, I kind of do, but I'm not going to lie and tell you I know exactly how it's going to turn out, because I don't. So it was just something that popped in my head last night, so I'm just giving it a whirl. Now, this is still a little sticky, but let me think. Oh my goodness me. Let me put my clay there. Let me get this back up here. Okay, I don't think I'm going to do it in straight lines. I don't think I'm going to layer them in straight lines. I think I'm going to do more random. It's going to be straight lines, but I'm not just going to go layer with that, and layer with that. I'm going to do it so it's, you'll see. I'm rambling, but you'll see what I mean in a second. I just want to make sure they are very straight on the edges though. I think I might have overheated this. It feels a little bit cooked. Oops. And I'm going to take my pieces that I layered up. Make sure that's got a nice straight edge as well. There's a tipsy hair. Tipsy. I'm going to get rid of that bit. I can't be bothered with faffing around trying to get it out, so you can stay there. And then I'm just going to get another little section like this, and I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to make sure it's butted right up to that first piece. Then I'm going to get another little piece of this and put that there. Oops. This is still sticky. It's still wet. How can it still be wet when the clay's nearly all baked? Alright, let's put that up to there. See what I mean? I didn't want to do it just in straight down lines for each component. Now I'm going to get my chippy choppy and steroids, which doesn't look any different to this bit, but we'll see. I don't suppose it will work out as I expected, but it's still pretty. And then I'm just going to get a piece of this and put it underneath here. Again, I'm trying to get it so it's butted right up to the other pieces. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight for this style, but relatively straight, I guess. Let's get some of this. I absolutely love this, how this has turned out with the colours. It's so shiny. I'm just hoping I've not overcooked it too much and it's just going to be a disaster. Okay. And another little piece of this. Just a little bit thicker. Just stuff that in there somehow. That's not going to butt up because of that cracked piece, but it should be okay once I roll it out. Sorry guys, I was mumbling there. That's when I'm thinking out loud and I forget I'm on camera. And just get rid of these little pieces. Let's just stick another little bit in there. Alright, so you've got yourself a simple little veneer and there is all this left over, but guess what? I've got another tutorial lined up where I'm going to be able to use all these leftover pieces. So I'm not wasting any before I get yelled at again. It will be used. Alright, so bearing in mind, if you want to do this, and then you want to see what I do with the scraps, so you can, you know, do it for yourself. Make sure you've got some scraps left over, because that will be the following tutorial. It might not be out till, what day is it today? Tuesday. I probably won't release it till Friday. This one's coming out today. Alright, so I'm just going to put all these scrappy bits to one side, and they are going to be utilised in my next video. Waste not, want not is my motto. Alright, we've got this veneer going on. Now, remember I wanted a crackle. To get that, I'm going to have to roll it, I think. I didn't want to do it before I'd laid it on the backing clay in case it broke too much. I just want to make sure it's nicely stuck on there. Before I attempt to crackle those pieces. Okay, let me see. It's more breaking than crackling actually. Like I say, I think I overdid it, but with the heat gun. But not to worry, it still looks cool. So they're big crackles, which actually I really like. So nothing's lost. So I'm just getting those bits that I overheated just to break up a little bit. It just gives it an extra added something. Okay, I think that might be good. Alright, so we've got this veneer so far. Now I am going to give it a good burnish. It's not essential that these are all completely straight, because I don't necessarily want it looking too uniform anyway, because it's meant to be a faux glass, but it's meant to be. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a really good burnish, just to make sure everything is stuck to that backing clay and nicely joined together. And hopefully I'm not going to have the back sticking too much, because I hate it. I forget about that. Cernit really sticks to the card, and I think it has done. Oh well. Alright, so I've done that. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, I just want it to be nicely on there. And now I'm just going to give it a quick clean with some rubbing alcohol on those bits where I've got my inky fingerprints all over it. I hope this is all making sense to you guys, because I'm kind of winging it here. It was an idea that I had in my head, and I'm kind of going with that idea that I had in my head, but I'm not sure how it's going to look when I've finished. So it is an experiment. I just want to get all this ink off. Okay, right, now I've got to decide what shape I want to do this. I really want to do a, this would look really cool as a puffy round one, but I don't have a round mould, so I can't do that. Let me just get one of my regular moulds that my go-to moulds, because let's be honest, I don't have that many, to be honest. And unfortunately, where I got these moulds from, he's currently closed his shop, so I can't get any more right now. Do I want this one? I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to go with the heart. I don't know what it is about this heart, but I just really like it. But you could use any shape. You could just use a cutter if you wanted to. Okay. Right, let me just see. I want to try and incorporate as much of that as I can. So that's going to go there. So there isn't going to be a lot left for anything else, is there? Let me just, never mind, I'll just cut it down the centre like this. So there will be another piece that we can work with. And I'm just leaving this little bit of translucent on the edge of this so I can stuff it into my mould, because I like to fold it over so there's something on the back. That's not going to incorporate that though, is it? What about this one? I'm going to go with this one instead, guys. It's going to get more of that colour in there. Like I say, you don't have to use a mould. You could just use cutters, but I just kind of wanted a domed look. These bits can also be utilised, even though it is a little bit crackled. So I'm putting that in my scrap pile, and it will get used up. So I'm just going to, oh dear, just going to get rid of that bit as well. I'm really just cramming it in there. Just give it a roll, just smooth it out a bit. Oh guys, hot flash. Ooh. Ooh, that just came on me all of a sudden. Don't you just hate the hot flashes? Okay, I'm hoping this has worked out, because if it hasn't, I'll be very, very disappointed. And again, scrap can be utilised. Alright, let's see what this looks like. I'm just going to give it another roll just to make sure it's nice and smooth and not too lumpy in areas. And I am just going to give it a quick wipe on the back. Let's get another piece of card to put it on. So there we go. Let's see. I didn't really get all of that nice colour in there. I'm kind of disappointed, guys, with that one. It might look okay once it's baked, so I'm going to scrap the mould idea and go with a cutter. Let me see. How about a flower? Oh, that might look really nice. Yeah, why not? Let's make a little flower. I don't usually make ones like that, but why not? It incorporates all those nice elements. Okay, so there's the little flower. And there's the other one that I'm not that impressed with, but you never know, it might bake nice. We'll see. So I'm going to just give this one last clean, and then I'm going to go and put them in the oven, and we shall see how they look. Alright guys, so this is an experiment, like I say, so we'll see how these look when they come out of the oven, and I shall be back. I'm back and they're out of the oven. I've just given the edges a little sand. This is the one that I did with the flower. That's what it looks like so far. I kind of like this one. I've already resined and glittered the back, and I do have a tutorial on how I do that, so I'll leave a link for that. And this is the one that I wasn't too sure about, and I'm still not too sure about it. Again, I've resined and glittered the back. So my suggestion, guys, when you do this is to use the cutters and not the moulds. I don't know, I'm not keen, but it might look good once it's resined, etc. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to work with this one on camera, and I'll also do something with this, and then I'll show you the results of it, and then you can decide which way you want to go when you do this. But I'm going with this one because I prefer this one, and I wish I could show you the translucency because it looks amazing when you hold it up to the light. I haven't got a means to do that down here, so I'll try and get a pic of it, and I'll take the photographs and I'll put them in the video, so you can see how gorgeous they look when the light's on them. I've also got some of these little flat back crystals again. I thought I might as well bling these up a little bit, and I've also got these little flower charm things, which I'm going to use one of those, I think, as well. Now what I'm going to do is resin and then add the beads, whereas in my last video I added the beads and then the resin, and I prefer to get a more domed look on this one. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to resin as I would any other piece. Just put a little glob in the middle like that. Let me see if I can just bring it down a little bit so you can see a bit clearer. Okay, so I've just put my resin on, and I'm just going to drag it from the centre to the edges, just gentle. Turn it and drag. Like this. Now this has got some little, where it crackled, it's got a little bit that's chipped away, which kind of looks nice. So I'm just dragging some resin into that area as well. I'm just making sure I'm getting it all the way up to the edges. Like this. And I might need to add a little bit more resin. It's better to add less to start with, you don't want it to overflow. So I am just going to add a little bit more. And also resin in a flat piece as opposed to a moulded piece is a lot easier as well. So like I say, it was an experiment and I prefer how this one came out, so let's just go with this one. Oh, I think I need a little bit more resin, just a blob. Just a little bit more here. I think that's good. I'm just making sure I've got all the way to the edges before I move on. And I think that's good, and I'm just going to stick, no, I'm not going to stick that under the UV lamp because I need it. Alright, I hope I didn't go off camera there, but if I did, I apologise, but I was just putting resin on this piece. Okay, so I've done that, and now I'm going to get my sparklies. I'm going to start with this little flower charm. Whoops. Here we go again. Just try and get a little bit of resin on it to pick it up, and I'm just going to put it in the centre like so. Now what colour sparkly shall I go with? These green ones look quite nice. I think the green, the catching green. Let me go with a few of these, I think. Just get a few out. I guess it depends on what light they catch, depending on what colour they are. So they're iridescent as well, which kind of works for this piece. And I'm just going to put a few of these around that centre piece, that little flower charm centre. Oops. So I mean, I guess it is more like a, I don't know, I don't really want to call it a faux lamp work again. I'm actually not sure what to call this. I don't even know if it does look like glass, to be honest. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to call this one. Just need one more, I think. I think that's good. And of course you can just maneuver them a little bit to get them exactly where you want them. Now, do I want to add anything else to this? I don't think I do. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's very simple. But I'm loving this flower shape. I really am loving that. So I'm going to go and cure these. And then, like I say, I'll mess with the other one that I did, which I've currently lost. There it is. No, that's not the one. I'm going to mess with this one as well. And I'll think of something to do on this. And once this is cured, I'll be back. I'm back. And I've completed this one now. And what a difference resin makes. And I've added a pretty little pinch bail and a purple organza ribbon and cord necklace, which I get from Amazon. I don't make them, I buy them that way because people do keep asking me that, and I will leave a link for those in the description as well. So that's the finished piece, that's the finished flower piece. Now, like I say, the translucency on this is pretty nice, so I will try and get a shot of that. I can't promise anything because there's no sun out today and my house is pretty dark, but I'll try. But that's that piece, guys. Oops. So there's that one. And this is the other piece that I wasn't sure about, but it's actually turned out pretty cool. I just added a row of black flatback crystals and some little blue ones as well, and then the resin has made it look pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Not what I was going for, this was more the look I was going for, but this is, it's still a nice pendant. And I'll just quickly show you another one that I did pretty much in the same way. So, you know, resin does make a difference. It brings out the colours and everything. And I just added a few little crystals on that, which aren't showing up that well because of the lighting in here. But there's those pieces. Not too bad, not too shabby. Okay, so there's those ones. So it just shows you can get, you know, quite different looks from the same batch of clay. And I went and made another batch. I just wanted to try again, and I made this one. So almost the same as this, just a bigger flower. And just the placement of, you know, the different components again gives it a bit of a different look. But I've got to say, I do absolutely love these two. So this is what I was after, more or less. These ones are nice, but not really what I was going for. This is what I was more going for, guys. And again, the translucency on that one is amazing. Alright guys, so they're the pieces for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.